started. Lock all your doors and stay inside. I repeat, this is not a joke. I repeat, do not play this game.
Do not play this game. We are here to tell you why you should play Pandemic Legacy Season 2.
I will tell you later why you not.
You're going to tell why they should not play?
Because.
Alright, anyway. Today, we will be giving you a quick review for Pandemic Legacy Season 2. Now, if you want to avoid some spoilers, don't watch it. The short review for you is, you should definitely play this game 10 out of 10. But if you're interested to know why you should be playing it, then continue seeing forward what's in this game actually. Okay, so this game is set up 70 years after the events of Pandemic's Legacy Season 1, which was set in current times. In case you have not played that game, it doesn't matter much. It's better if you know that story, that what happened at that time. But the game, this Season 2 actually jumps 70 years, so a lot has passed, which was never covered even in the first game, which you will get to find out through some of the story which happens throughout this game. Now overall, if you have never played Pandemic before, the concept is that plagues have come or pandemics are occurring across the country, across the whole world, and you're trying to actually cure those diseases and trying to find a solution to the cure. But in Pandemic Legacy Season 2, the twist is that it kind of works in inverse. The plague is now, you're not trying to stop the plague, you are actually trying to provide supplies to the city. So it works like an inverse pandemic. In Pandemic, you are picking up cubes of plague, but in this one, you are delivering the cubes of supplies to feed the people who are now suffering. So the plague can still occur, but that plague you cannot cure. And that's where we are 70 years down the road. When you start the game, it will be a very small part of the map. On my board right now, you might be seeing a little bit more, and that's something you will evolve during the gameplay. But initially, you will start with very small area where you will have some port cities only, and that's all the cities that your current generation is aware of that exist, and that's where the population is. Everyone is actually from the team is living on floating platforms called havens, and from these havens you're taking these supplies and providing to different cities and keeping them alive. So that's the premises of the game. The bad thing that's happening also, other than the plague, is that there are some mysterious people called Hollow Men, and whenever you try to create supply stations which can make your life easy, the next time, the next game, the next month, they come
destroy it
and destroy it. So you have to do it all over again. Now another thing that's different in this game, in the previous normal Pandemic game, if you don't know, you would win the game if you would find the cures for the diseases. In this game, since there are no cures, so instead what the game objective is, that in the game actually you will be getting some objective cards, and you have to complete a certain, there can be multiple cards, so there will be some multiple objectives, and based on what game you are playing, you will have to complete a certain number of objectives to win that game. So that's how it works. Legacy games overall have a story mode, unlike your normal board games, and that's what this is. It has a deep story, and with each story or next scenario, the story changes and some gameplay elements change as well. So the kind of objectives can change, the kind of actions that you get to play can change. So I'm not going to actually teach you how to play or what you're going to do in this game, but at least give you a flavor of what kind of things you will be exploring throughout the game. So one of the things that, for example, you're going to go through is primarily the legacy deck. Now this deck, you're not allowed to see beyond some certain cards which the deck will tell you. So you will play this game over months from January to December. So ideally it has only 12 games inside, but each month if you fail you can play the next month as well. So each month you can play twice. So somewhere between 12 to 24 games is what you will play with this. And once you are done, you're done. You will be throwing this out. This is not like a game of Monopoly or Ludo that you can play over and over. It's a story-based game. Once you have played from 12 to 24 game sessions, once you reach December, the game is completely over. Okay, there is nothing much to do. That's what a legacy game is. So that's what this legacy deck is for, that for each month you will be reading something and something new will pop up. Yes, Isha.
And also, I just want to give you a quick warning. When you open the game, this is not what it looks like. We have already played the game to know what the continuance. I have no word.
Yeah, so we have played nearly half the game. So we just enough to actually have an idea, but not spoil anything for you. So as you play along, there are these sheets, numbered doors that are hidden. Behind each number door, there would be some secret things, some more stickers, some new rules, some new items that you add to the board map, some new characters even, which you get to unlock. And as the story progresses, you will be unlocking them and then naming things by yourself. You will be creating your own characters even. There are a bunch of stickers provided with the abilities, with the portraits. You get to select what your character looks like. You get to name your character. You get to select their age. You get to pick their abilities. And then you get to also select where their main city, birth city is, because that's important, because every time if you pick that character, that's where you start the game from on the board. So again, that's makes your game entirely different from anyone else who is playing that game, because you will be making your own characters, and these character abilities will evolve over time, because as you finish a game you will get certain upgrade points. And just like in your computer games or video games, that you use these points to get some upgrades. That's what you're going to actually do. Use these points to upgrade your character abilities, the city abilities, the infection. You can lower down the infection rate. So there are many things which you can actually do using those upgrade points.
Now let's talk about the plague.
Yeah, so the plague actually spreads just like in normal pandemic. You will open infection deck cards, it will tell the name of a city. In this game, since it works in reverse, so let's say there were 3 supply cubes in New York, and a New York card comes up. So one supply cube will be removed from it, because that means that to fight that infection, the New Yorkers use that supplies to actually fight that. So that's how it gets protected. But let's assume now no more cubes are left and the New York comes up. What happens?
Plague.
Yep. These green, horrible looking plague cubes come on that particular city.
Don't forget to raise the plague incidence meter.
Yeah. So the incident meter goes up. In case the incident meter goes up to the skull level, which is up to 8 points, then that means 8 incidents have happened, and that's how many cubes we have. The game is over. You cannot remove these plague cubes. So you need to provide continuously to all the active cities that you have supplies, so that you can keep them healthy.
And this is how the game gets harder every time you actually recon. Recon means that you find another region, like these regions. They do not pop up in themselves.
Yeah, so as you do recon, as you explore more, you will unlock more regions of the world which you will find out are populated or not populated. You will find out in the story, but you will explore more of the world. You're going outside your safe havens and finding more and more cities. Then you will be building routes in between them. Unlike your normal pandemic, there are no defined pre-routes connecting different cities. You will be making them using a pen.
Because in the normal pandemic, we already know what the world is. It's very common. But in this world, we forgot everything. We forgot what the world looks like, so we have to discover it.
Yeah, because it has been 70 years and people have just not gone out of their safe havens. So it's your choice how you want to connect. You can connect as many cities as you want, multiple routes, but be careful, the more routes you connect, if an outbreak happens, just like normal pandemic, then the plague actually spreads to all the connected cities as well. So connecting more routes has a problem as well. Then you can make sea routes as well. There are no more flights available, so people are using boats like the movie Waterworld. If somebody now is in that city and he fails to actually exit that city before his next turn, then he's going to get a scar.
The scar is mostly covered by some silver filming. I don't know what it's called. But when you scratch one, you will eventually see a scar, or under any of them, a skull.
Yeah, so a scar means that your character is now permanently weakened. He has caught the plague as well, and he's permanently weakened. So for this, the game provides a lot of stickers. I've cut them already. So these are weaknesses. Once you get a scar, you will scratch off to find out did you get a scar or not. So if you get a scar, you need to put one of these stickers on your character card, so this will reduce his abilities.
Some people can survive by just getting blank spaces, but again, there's always a skull.
Yeah, so there is always randomization in these character cards because some characters can die sooner than the others. So there is always that surprise factor. There is no set rules. Similarly, that's for scars, just like upgrades. Then this scratching areas you will find on many cards. So these are secrets which only once an event occurs, then you have to scratch it off and then you find out what happened.
Make sure to use something other than your nail.
So for example, here is a card of Moscow with some silver on it which you can scratch. So these are the kind of search actions that you have discovered a new city. Now you are trying to search through the city. And what did you find? Only when you will scratch it, then you will know what was there in the city. Maybe it was something good, maybe something bad. You will have to find that on your own. So that's how actually the game will proceed. There are many things that will keep on upgrading in the game. Your player aids, even these keep on getting upgraded. You start by some default actions that are given on the player aid, but as you progress through the game, more and more stickers will be given to you and you will add it to your player aid as well as the game manual as well, that new features have now become available and new actions your characters can do. There are these secret boxes. You're not allowed to open these secret boxes until again the game tells you to do so, and then you will punch out one of those boxes and then find out what was behind these doors. You might find God knows who.
What?
I'm not going to tell. So at the end of each game, what you're going to do is there is a log given, and you're going to log your win, your lose, which characters played that game, and how many cities you have discovered. Based on how many cities, things are going to change again. Again, I'm not going to tell, but you will be keeping a record of what you're doing, because that will also change the difficulty of the game as well. As you play, as you win or you lose, the difficulty of the game changes as well. So that's Pandemic Legacy, again, we are not touching all of the things because there are many things which you have to explore on your own. It's not your conventional board game. It's a co-op game where everyone is trying to help each other to win the overall scenario, and you're playing against the game itself and helping each other out.
It's one of those games. It's one of those games in where you like have to help each other, or else you all lose.
What is it that you like about the game?
The only thing I like about this game, how I like to play with these play cubes. I love it, and also the scratching. I love the scratching. I love the
Stickers.
doors thing, the door thing. I don't know. I call them doors.
Yeah. So these.
I like to do these.
So again, everyone will be having fun while trying to open new secrets, finding what's new there. Now,
Maybe there's
so
gold.
that's the fun thing. For me, actually, the bookkeeping, which Ishal is thinking takes too long. For me, it's fun. So actually, at the end of the game, when everyone is done, I'm the one with the pen, writing down. Okay, what did we do?
Yeah,
How
the
did we
bookkeeping is like the bookkeeping is like extremely long because a card may say open these doors and then another door will say open this door. It just drives me crazy.
All right. So, what rating will you give the game?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Because
Okay.
again, it takes extremely long and I go crazy.
All right. So for me, 10 out of 10. Very, very cool, unconventional game, which you will have fun throughout those sessions. And I'll be sad once this is complete because I will not be able to play it again.
It's kind of fun reading the story.
Yeah, because once you have gone through the story,
Okay,
that's it. But you will remember the play sessions that you had over the time. So highly recommended. Go ahead and play Pandemic Legacy Season 2.
Go right now. You don't need to watch this video.
Happy gaming!
Happy gaming.